Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. So this is a spin-off, and it's a bullet heaven game, and it is based off the first-person co-op survival game that is all about the space dwarves mining through dangerous planets for rare minerals, all to upgrade gear and complete runs of... Well, that was the co-op game, I think, that I never actually played. And then this is basically a survivor game, which is a genre in itself. This has been in early access for a year, and it's just hit version 1.0, and it also came to Game Pass, so I thought, no harm, no foul, I'll pick it up and have a go. Blacked out and came to, and I've played so much of this game that I'm kind of itching to play it right now, and just watching the footage is enough to get me into it. Okay, so let me explain. For those who don't know survivor games, this is a completely solo experience, and it plays out as, I guess you'd call it an auto shooter, and it's now a genre, a survivor genre. It was very popular when, we all know, Vampire Survivor came out. I think it won Game of the Year, or got close to at one point. Yeah. So I can't remember if that invented the survivor genre. Someone must have had an iteration of it before, but that was a very primitive looking game with very basic art style, and it was very addictive. But here, you've got the whole sort of window dressing and style of this Deep Rock Galactic series. You, in each run, basically pick one of the dwarves out of the multiple classes that are there. You gear up, you pick a level and a difficulty modifier, and then you need to complete each stage by doing, well, a number of stages, 4 usually, to complete a run and exfil or extract back out to the surface. They're procedural stages in different biomes, and basically, yeah, you just have to run around and keep moving and avoid the fact that you are being hunted down by swarms and swarms of these bugs, and you're mining minerals, you're digging through the bedrock as you do it, and then you're hoovering. Is a lovely word to say and a lovely thing to do in a video game. You're hoovering up the ample amounts of XP that are being dropped by all the creatures that you're killing, and that's leveling you up, and then you're getting the ability to stack a whole bunch of either weapon upgrades or modifiers as you go. It is just... it's like crack. It's so addictive, and I am just so into this style of game, and especially with this much polish. And again, I kind of knew that going in because I played Vampire Survivor and I very much enjoyed it, but I knew it had its limitations, and what I love here is that there is polish to this in its visuals, but also in some of the mechanics and the way it drip feeds those mechanics, but also the game as a whole to you. It's not all open from the beginning. It is very much about going, here is your first basic run, and there's a lot to unlock, but we're going to do it in a very sort of accommodating way. I found Vampire Survivor kind of gave you everything at the start, and just, it's almost like a menu of too much food to pick from. You're like, I don't really know where to go or what I should be doing. Here, it's very well sort of telegraphed in terms of what missions you do and how you upgrade each bit of gear and each miner. Person in a mine, not a child. And yeah, I think that works really well, but also what's great is that there is a limitation on the runs themselves. Vampire Survivor, I think, had runs that could go for, I'm gonna say, over half an hour. Like, you could get stuck in that level and be like, I can't put this game down. Here, it is far more segmentized into these stages and into these runs. So I think, like, you can kind of do a stage in maybe 15 minutes, which is the reason I've been putting it down and picking it up and putting it down and picking it up. It's like, it has this, like, one more go, but also I can put it down and know that I've just got a little window to play it in, and that's the perfect way to play these games. That's not to say that I haven't had some frustrating runs where just luck of the draw. The RNG-ness of it all is you don't get the pickups that you want. You can pay gold to re-roll, and you're not getting it, and you're like, I've wasted this run. But it's not a huge loss. It's not, I've wasted half an hour or an hour. It's, I've wasted 15 minutes, and I've still got some upgrades that all do carry over into the main menu, where you go, cool, you can have permanent upgrades to your stats and also to the gear that you find in the runs, and go from there. So yeah, it's just why I haven't been able to stop playing this, and yeah, it's punishing, but I will take the punishment for how much fun I'm having in this. What you're seeing might not be doing it justice. I don't know. It's a good-looking game, but it's like, if it looks overwhelming and hard to pass what's happening, you very much get into a meditative state with this game of the moving, of the mining, of the upgrades, and time flies by in a dangerous way.
Oh, no, I got deep into Vampire Survivors when I got it on my iPad. Best decision of my life.
Yeah.
And then ever since then have been trying to find games like that I'll enjoy just as much. I think there's one called like Hungry Aliens I've got on my phone.
I think it must have kicked off a whole bunch of
it absolutely did.
Survivor likes.
I feel like the overwhelmingness of having as many upgrades as you can possibly get of like what's on the screen, showing that to someone and trying to get them into it can definitely be like a sensory overload. But this, to me, as someone who loves these type of games, looks so rewarding. Like it's like the visual version of Number Go Up.
It's got all that with just enough kind of passive gaming as you do it as well, that you are definitely focusing on like there are some strats here more so than I think are in Vampire Survivors. Mainly the coolest thing is the terrain that you can mine through, because at first it does look just like it's an obstacle, but you do learn that there is an upgrade for mining speed, and so that can help or hinder you, but also the way you can kite the enemies, like the pathfinding of the enemies will be looking for you and following you through certain paths.
I saw you like bottlenecking them and stuff as well.
Well, you can basically start digging through and bringing them all bottlenecked through, and then when you crack out back into the open area, they all change direction and start coming for you through the closest path possible. And so within all that chaos, it's funny when you can suddenly start kind of seeing the matrix and putting strats in and working out
them where you want them.
Totally. And then the builds of, like, you would think it's just guns and bullets and how many you can fire out, but I have been experimenting with the other classes that do a lot of them have that kind of AoE around you attack.
Yeah,
and you can build that Vampire Survivors build, which if you it's just the most amazing feeling of going, I can stand still and they are all attacking me and nothing is strong enough to kill me, and you are just being fed XP.
Yeah.
It's this weird.
I was gonna ask if, like, because you're playing like a campaign and you're doing objectives, how it doesn't become really min-maxy in like, I just need to play the one class that I've now put all the skill points into, because otherwise I'm not specced up enough with other classes to be strong enough to be at this level in the campaign.
Yeah.
Can you go back and do the earlier missions with the other classes and get? Is that how you would keep everyone up to the same
it's
kind
mainly
of
the gear
level?
that you take in. You can take
And
all
the
that
gear
and
basically is transferable to
yes, you
characters?
re-equip that and upgrade it, and you equip that to which dwarf you're taking in. So it's mainly just a preference of what starting items
It's not
you
like
have and a
the
couple
sentry
of perks.
gun is only this character's and you've upgraded a sentry gun heaps of times and suddenly you have to play this guy, otherwise you will not get
It's
through.
usually, each bit of gear is usually carried by a couple of them, but not all four,
Okay,
I think. So
right.
you can definitely specialize in some. And I won't get into it, but it's like you do runs of extermination, and they are locked behind certain objectives that are in each of these missions. You have to get enough of the medals to unlock more of them. And then there are hazard levels, which are the modifiers, which you add. So you can go back and do the level that you really like. The Crystal Caverns are these early starting ones. But there are some, if Josh scrubs a little bit further forward, that have like soft rock that you can dig through really fast.
Are you talking about Yacht Rock?
Not yacht rock,
Okay.
my favorite type of music. But there are the modifiers that I've experimented with are things like heaps of bug eggs in the map that suddenly burst when you're near them. So there's been some cool creative hazards that the game seems to be throwing in, and I'm only at hazard level 2, and it can scale all the way up to like hazard level 9, and yeah, it's just it seems like there's a lot more game ahead of me, and I've only kind of scratched the surface. But I've made a character here who has pure AoE attack, but has a scaling damage based on how much of the red nitrate they're carrying, which slows them down. So I can barely move, but I'm pretty much indestructible. And when you create these builds kind of on the fly, that's the nicest thing, is you are doing it in a panic. You're looking at the upgrades being like, geez, I don't know, that might be the best one to take.
Does the game pause when you get in that level up screen?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a nice bit of respite.
Yeah. So that's where you... And you do end up just playing like a shorthand of the color of the rarity, and you're just like purple, red, and you know, that generally will build a good class, but I didn't know this was the style I was going to be playing when I first dropped into this area, and then it turned into this whole different style run. So I do love the variety, I guess, in the way that you can build these characters out. And yeah, it's just this perfect 15, 20 minute, have one more go. I was playing it at work when I was like 6 o'clock at work, and I was like, I played a little bit on my computer at work. I'll go home. I went home, booted up my Xbox, kept playing it. I went to bed. I got my Backbone on my phone and kept playing it in bed. And I was like, what am I doing?
Oh, so it's on mobile as well.
No, I was playing through Game Pass
Streaming.
on
Okay.
cloud gaming on that, and so it just kept saying like, have another run in a little dwarf voice.
So what's the go with Deep Rock Galactic as a franchise? Aren't they usually like first-person co-op
I think
games
that's
or something?
that's the only other game.
Oh,
which
okay.
You've played some?
I've played a fair bit
Yeah.
of. Yeah, it's really fun, and
Okay.
it's like the tone of it is really great. They are basically procedurally generated dungeons,
Okay.
and you know that there's a single objective in the dungeon. You run through the dungeon, you try and survive the swarms, collect the objective, and get back out.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
like an extraction,
Mining.
a cooperative
yeah.
extraction mining game.
Yeah, because I saw this on Game Pass and I was like, oh, no friends will play this weird shit with me. But it's single player, and I didn't even know it was.
Single
I didn't know it was this
I
at all.
assumed being based off that previous game that there would be a co-op version of this. I'm not sure if there is a co-op Survivor game out there, at least not at this like level. But I feel like it'd be a fun one for them to patch that in. I don't know how chaotic that would be, but this surprised me by being a solo experience. And a little part of me thought I haven't played that other game,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna not get the lore, but I'm not gonna be interested in this franchise. But it very quickly. You can just pair it back to what it is, which is it is a Survivor game, and it's a very polished.
Yeah.
I was
going
gonna say, like, I really like the Deep Rock Galactic tone, and I'm not interested in playing a Survivor game really, and so I actually think this is more for Survivor fans than it is for Deep Rock fans.
Totally.
Right.
But it's a great skin.
Yeah.
Like, it looks beautiful. All of the beautiful design from Deep Rock is there and really beautifully presented. I like that it's 3D. The art looks great.
Yeah.
Like, it's all those models, but from an isometric kind of perspective.
I do prefer the isometric 3D of when there are thousands of them around you. There are moments that are just awe-inspiring when you're like, I can't believe that I'm standing in the middle of this and I'm still surviving and the computer can keep up with it. The only minor criticism, I don't know if it was in the previous game, is the voice acting is one set of lines for all 4 characters pitch shifted. So
That's
it's
awesome.
like,
That's
which
so
I haven't-
funny.
I haven't experienced
very
since, like,
efficient.
Maybe?
Yeah,
We
I
are
haven't
all
experienced-
Kyle Crane.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced that
Carl
since
Cranes.
like the late 90s
Yeah,
where they're
right.
like, oh, just pitch shift the voices, but they're all the same lines, just read with like a really awkward like modifier.
I
on it.
can't
so
remember
funny.
because I played that game in co-op and we were talking over the top of it, but they all are like rock and stone and
The lines are all great.
Yeah.
It was just like
I can't remember.
this is an interesting choice, but yeah, it's in full release. It's on Game Pass, so it's a lot of fun.